He said it right there beside the casket, his voice smooth, cold, rehearsed. You know this isn't really yours, right? Dad's money, the house, the company. You're, technically, not even his blood. The choir was still humming the last note of Ave Maria. Mourners were crying, and he was already dividing the corpse's assets. I remember his smirk, the same one he used when he stole my toys as a kid. That smug little tilt of the lips, like sin in slow motion. I didn't argue. I just looked at him, nodded once, and said quietly, "Fine, you can have it all, but don't contact me again." He laughed, actually laughed at our father's funeral, like I ever would. That was the last time he saw me as harmless. We weren't always enemies. When Mom married his father, I was 10. He was 12. He taught me chess, said it was the game for people who don't trust words. I should have listened. He used to protect me in school, defend me when kids said I didn't belong. He even once said, "Blood doesn't make you family. Loyalty does." But loyalty, I learned later, is just a word people use until money enters the room. When Dad's health declined, I was the one in the hospital every night. My brother showed up for pictures, PR for his future as the heir. I didn't notice the documents he was having Dad sign, not until later. Not until it was too late. After the funeral, I packed up my things, moved out of the family home, and kept quiet. But silence isn't surrender, it's strategy. 3 weeks later, I got a call from the lawyer Dad used to trust. He was old, sentimental, and still believed in fairness. He slipped up when he mentioned the amendment your brother insisted your father sign. Amendment. That word stuck in my mind like a nail. I went digging. Not emotionally, methodically. Bank transfers, property titles, emails. Turns out, 3 months before Dad died, my brother had convinced him to move company shares into a temporary holding trust that excluded me. The signatures were shaky, the dates suspicious. Forgery. Classic, stupid forgery. I didn't confront him. I just smiled at the thought of his downfall and started planning. Step 1, I contacted the company's minority shareholders, people my brother had bullied, fired, or ignored. Told them I wanted to make amends for his mistakes. They were eager, angry, useful. Step 2, I found the private investigator Dad once used to check employee fraud. I gave him everything: emails, scans, legal files. Within a week, I had proof that the will had been tampered with. Step 3, I made a quiet deal with the board's legal counsel. If my brother was found guilty of fraud, they'd vote him out as CEO. I'd take over. Temporarily, of course. All that was left was timing. 3 months to the day after the funeral, I invited him to lunch. A fancy downtown restaurant, his favorite. He arrived in a tailored suit, all teeth and arrogance. "Well, well, the poor orphan returns," he said, grinning. I smiled back. "I just wanted to say no hard feelings. You were right, it wasn't mine to begin with." He relaxed instantly. That was his flaw. He mistook calm for weakness. I slid a file across the table. "But you might want to take a look before dessert." He frowned, opened it, and went pale. Inside were copies of the forged documents, the investigator's report, and a letter from the company board announcing an emergency vote to remove him. "You can't," he started. "I didn't," I cut in. "The law did. And Dad's real signature, well, that's attached to his original will. I filed it this morning." He blinked, shaking his head, denial cracking in his eyes. "You're bluffing." "Am I?" I slid my phone across. The screen showed the time-stamped email from the lawyer's office confirming submission to probate court. "I just wanted to see your face when you realized what it feels like to lose everything you think you deserve." He tried to laugh, but it came out hollow. His hands trembled. "You set me up. "No," I said quietly, "you did that to yourself. I just gave gravity a nudge." He stood furious, ready to cause a scene, but I'd already left cash on the table, stood up, and walked away. That night the news broke. Corporate heir under investigation for forgery and fraud. His mugshot made the front page by morning. I didn't celebrate. I just poured a drink and sat by the window, watching the city lights blink like tiny verdicts. People think revenge is fire. It's not. It's cold, precise, clean. Dad used to say, justice takes time, but time always collects its debt. He was right. 3 months ago, my brother buried our father. Tonight, I buried him. Not in soil, but in truth.